it's me, your boy Jay, Jason Ward, coming to you from Freedom Train. Welcome back. Today's episode is going to be getting down to the nitty-gritty of building a business and doing the things that are going to be necessary to obtain business credit. And that's going to be really important because you can do a lot more with business credit than you can do with personal credit. And you can establish business credit very quickly, and it's really not that difficult to do. And you get much larger amounts of money through business credit, and you can use all of it, not just 30% of it. But before we go any further, we know what to do. Down below, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and go ahead and get those notifications so that you don't miss any of our latest episodes. Down below is going to be the links to 2 books. The first one is going to be Tony Robbins' Money, Master the Game. And the other one is going to be a book on building business credit. So make sure that you add those books to your library because they're very important and they're going to help you get to that financial freedom. So, first things first, the name of your business. Now, a lot of people go and give their names of their business, and the name actually gives away what the business does. And you really want to stay away from names that do that. And if you think about it, the names of the businesses that you go to, Walmart, that doesn't tell you anything about what Walmart does. Costco, Geico. You hear these names, and if you heard the name itself, you would have no idea what that business actually does. That should be your goal when you develop your name. Because a lot of businesses will get red flagged by the people that issue credit simply because they're in an industry that they don't really like, that they feel isn't really safe and secure enough to give you credit. And so if you give your name, business, a name that is just a blank name that you can't tell what that business has to do with, you're going to be all the better towards obtaining the credit that you want to obtain. So that brings us to step 2, getting an address. You don't want to use your home address. Now, if you must, then you must, because you want to make sure that you get started and get started right away, because time is of the essence. That's the thing that's gonna be your biggest killer is time, and you don't want to waste any time. The sooner you can get all these things done, then the sooner you can get on the road towards getting that business credit, because some of these things are going to take some time, and you want to get them going as quickly as possible. So when you get that address, there are lots of places that you can go to online that you can get a virtual address for the business, and those are very much recommended, so that's a great way to do it, and we highly recommend that you do that if you can afford it. If not, then go ahead and use your home address, but be prepared to change it later on, because you do want to make sure that later on you do have an address that's not your home address. You want to make sure to keep the business totally separate from your personal. And anything that you can do towards that aim is going to be to your benefit. Next, getting the business's phone number. Again, stay away from using your personal home phone numbers, business cell phone numbers. Getting an 800 number is most advisable, because when the banks and the credit card companies go to look, that looks the most business-like, the most professional of the numbers that you can have. But again, that can be cost prohibitive to some people when you're first getting started, And it's okay if you have a different number, but try to make sure that it's not the same as your personal home phone number or your cell phone number. So you can go out there and sometimes use a Google number to obtain, or you can go out and purchase a phone number, a separate phone number for the business from either your cell phone company or even your home phone company or cable company. Those are some great places to go that you can do that and do it rather inexpensively. Next, we're going to go to irs.gov. And that website again is www.irs.gov. And when you go there, you're going to apply for your EIN number. Now that EIN number is like your business's social security number. And it's going to be very important to you obtaining the kind of business credit and obtaining a business banking account. And so every business needs to have one, and you do need to have one of those too. Next, obtaining a business checking account. You're going to need to get that set up, and you'll need that EIN number. So once you have that EIN number, then you can set it up. There's a couple of online banks that you may use. One of them that I recommend is Novo, and that's NOVO.com. Another bank that we recommend highly is Navy Federal. Now you do have to have a relationship with either having been in the military or have someone that you know that's in the military recommend you, a relative, preferably. So once you can get that, then you can get into Navy Federal. That's highly recommended simply because once you have that relationship established, they have their own in-house way of being able to finance you and get you credit. And it's a lot easier to do it that way than it is to obtain it through other sources. So that's a really great way to get started, is by using Navy Federal.
Business license certificate containing.
You're also going to want to get your business license. Now the business license is going to be obtained through the state. And each state has different rules and regulations for obtaining that business license. So make sure that you go to your state and find out. It's usually pretty easy to find out online. Every state has their own. They can range from fees of $50 to $500, sometimes maybe even more depending on your state. We don't offer any type of legal advice towards that, but you do want to make sure that you're setting up either an LLC or an S or C corporation, because a sole proprietorship is really looked at as not really a business. It's really looked at more as a hobby or something that's taxed on the personal line. And we want to make sure that everything is done where it's separate from your own personal interests. That's going to be critical to you obtaining wealth and financial freedom, because you can set up 100 different businesses, and most successful people have several because they have several different sources of income. So for every source of income, that's a business. And you can obtain business credit for each one. And that's going to be really critical, because once you can multiply that success and get to getting, hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars of credit that you can obtain for one business, then obtaining that for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 businesses becomes easy. It becomes like riding a bike. Once you learn how to do it, that's a skill that you'll have that no one will ever be able to take from you. So let's make sure that we do this right so that we get it right the first time and don't have mistakes made, because those can be critical at this point. After you do that and you have your checking account set up, then you're going to go to the website www.dnb.com, and this is the Dun & Bradstreet website. Dun & Bradstreet is one of the major contributors to the business credit. It's just like Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion is to the personal side. Dun & Bradstreet's the big boy of the business side. So if you want to go there and register with them, get your business registered and get a D&B number. Typically, that's going to take, your DUNS number takes 30 days, I believe, to get it, give or take. But that does take some time for them to get you that number. But just be patient. Once you've gone on there and applied for it, you should get it in no time. Now, it's going to take time for them to actually give you a score. So don't be expecting that once you get your Dun & Bradstreet number that you're going to have a score right away, because you will not. It takes typically about 60 to 90 days before you can actually get a score, because you're going to have some credit lines established, and it takes 3 credit lines before they actually will even give you any score whatsoever. So that's going to have to come first. But you do need to go on there, make sure you get that number, and you'll be well ahead of many, many businesses once you've done that step. For now, the business phone number. Totally forgot. Once you've gotten the business phone number, you are going to want to make sure that you go on to 411 and get the business listed with Business 411. And that's an important step, because they are going to check there to make sure that your phone number is listed there. So do make sure that you do that and take that step as well. I want to thank you all for listening and staying tuned this long, because not everybody stayed tuned and they missed some very valuable content. And make sure that if you missed anything, that you go through, watch this over again, and make sure that you get through everything and make sure all your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So the next video is going to be going more into what those different accounts are. You're going to talk about the Tier 1 accounts and the fleet accounts, and then we're going to get into getting those bigger credit card accounts once we've gotten 10 of those lines established. So until next time, I do want to thank you again for choosing us here at Freedom Train, and have a great day.